everyone, my name's Michelle and this is my channel Sewing Bunny. Thank you so much for joining me in my video today. And I must apologise if I sound a bit more lispy than I usually am. It's because I've got a massive ulcer on the tip of my tongue. And yeah, so if I'm a bit more lispy than I usually am, then that is why. And yeah, sorry that this video is coming to you a little bit late. I had troubles with my tripod that I film on, and basically, well, here it is. This little tripod decided to break. This little top mount bit here decided to completely crumble in my hands, and we tried to get another part for it, but for some reason I just can't get it to fit in and for my phone to sit in well. So instead, I got myself a brand new tripod, which you are sitting on now. It's much bigger, much sturdier, and yeah, has a few more sort of features and stuff which should help me with my filming and also for taking pictures of my makes and things. It goes a lot taller than the other one did. I had to put the other one if I was going outside to take pictures in the garden, or when I film my sew-alongs and I do the twirls at the end, if that's in the garden. I sometimes have to put it on something. You might have seen quite a while back, if you've been following me for some time, there was a sew-along where I was doing a twirl and my camera actually fell off the tripod in the wind because it was so flimsy. This one, it will not go over in the wind. It's very sturdy. And also, because it's a bit bigger, usually this little one I put on my table, which is just here. And if I just pan you down, which I can actually do now smoothly, it's actually on this table. Now you're sitting on the floor. So it means actually when I pan down, I can actually show you what I'm wearing. So this is the Stylark Dale Knit wrap top in this lovely rib knit fabric that I picked up from Fabricland ages and ages ago. So yeah, this is lovely. I've made this one, it was quite a while back now, but yeah, it's just so nice. I can actually pan you down, and yeah, hopefully you'll have a much better viewing experience, or at least just a similar viewing experience. Anyway, my video today is all about my makes from August. So I'm going to start off with two items that I don't actually have with me. They were actually gifts, because it was my mum's birthday at the end of August, so I like to make her some little bits when it's her birthday. And her favourite pattern that I've made her is the Sew Over It Molly top. She absolutely loves that pattern, and whenever it's like birthdays and things like that, she always asks for a molly top. So this time I decided to make her two. I made her, first off, the t-shirt version of the molly top, so just the molly top. And what happens is it's got a grown-on sleeve, and then you get like this extension piece if you want, you know, like a long sleeve. But what I did is I didn't add on the additional arm piece. I just left it as the grown-on one. And then what I did is I also created my own little cuff on it, just by measuring the edge of the sleeve, and then just kind of made it slightly smaller so that it would stretch, and then made the little cuff. So it was a nice little t-shirt, and I made that from a fabric from Fabric Story, and it's actually a sale fabric. And the reason why I wanted to make that one is because Mum actually does have that molly top in that fabric, but a different colourway that I made for her ages and ages ago, and it's one that she wears a lot. She loves like the little bird print design, and then when I saw that they had the pink colourway, I was like, I just have to get that for her. So yeah, that was the first one that I made her. And then the second one that I made her was the dress version of the molly. Well, it's a molly top stroke dress, so the pattern comes either as a t-shirt with like a little curved hem, or as a dress with a straight hem. So I made her the dress version of that. And that fabric I got from Lamazi fabric, and it was, what was it? It was a designer fabric. I can't remember what the designer was. I'll pop it down here. Yeah, that was a viscose jersey. And it was really, really nice, really lovely fabric to work with, really soft. And yes, I made that as the dress. And for that one, I did do the arm extension piece, but I didn't do it full length. I just did it halfway because that's that kind of length that she likes. She doesn't really like full length. She kind of likes the half length. So yeah, and bless her, she posed for me, having some pictures taken. So after I gave them to her, got home, and then a couple of days later she sent me those pictures. So yeah, that was really nice that I could show you guys what they look like on her. So first thing that I made for myself, I'm going to show you my sew along that I did for August. And this is the chalk and notch fringe top. So this pattern comes as a top version or a dress version. And I got all of the bits and bobs to make this from Guthrie Ghani as part of one of her Sewing Society kits. So she provided the fabric, the interfacing, the buttons, a little label here as well, needles, thread, all of that as part of the kit. Now, when I started to cut out this, I was going to be making the dress, but what I did is I just stupidly cut out my placement of the pattern pieces. I just wasn't paying attention, and I ended up with not enough fabric to make the dress. So what I did is I shortened the dress piece into the top. So yeah, it's a little fringe top. It's still lovely as a top, but yeah, I just kind of thought I'd mention that I was going to make the dress, but no, it ended up being the top. So a few little details of this. So this fabric, it's a really pretty fabric. It's a viscose. It's black background with these kind of brown and cream little splodges, which kind of close up you can see look like that, but from far away I really think it looks like leopard print or some sort of like animal print. I think it's really pretty. And the buttons that came with it as well, I just think go beautifully with the fabric. These gorgeous little kind of goldy, like bronzy gold sort of colour buttons. Really nice. And this pattern, you can get a couple of different versions of the top or the dress. I've gone for the V neckline, but there is also a lovely little notched neckline as well. But I decided to go for the V because the notch one, you don't use buttons, whereas this one you did, and I just really wanted to show off these buttons because I just think they looked so nice with the fabric. You also get this lovely little label as well, which is made by me, made by me with G&G. So that's a nice little label to add in there. And then it does have ties as well to cinch it in, and you can put these ties at the front darts here, you can put them at the side, or there are some back darts. Probably won't be able to see it too well. There are some back darts that you can pop them in there as well. So it's got a gathered skirt piece on there, or peplum if you're you know, working with the top, and yeah, I just think it looks really pretty. The only thing I did with this to alter it is the hem is like a kind of a dipped hem, so the sides kind of go like up and then it dips down at the front into that sort of shape hem. I just didn't think that was very me, so what I did with this one is I actually straightened it off at the bottom. So all I did was this line here is obviously the lowest point on the pattern. It would have dipped up like this, so all I did was just carry on that line across, just made it a little bit more A-line. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. Also, yeah, the cuffs as well. You can have like a plain cuff, or you can have what I've done here, which is this little tab secured with the button for like a little rolled up sort of sleeve. And I just think that looked really nice, and that's all grown on as well. It's a really easy pattern to do. You know, I think it looks really effective actually for how simple it is. Even all of this, you know, with the button like placket and everything, really nice and straightforward. So I was really, really pleased with that one. Now, you may have seen in one of my other videos, I think it was my fabric haul video, where I was actually talking about my lovely friend Andrea, who runs the shop Beyond the Pink Door. And she had watched my sew along video, and she sent me a parcel, and she said that she knew how disappointed I was that my top version, I didn't make the dress out of it. So she actually sent me some more of that fabric, which was just absolutely wonderful. It was so kind of her to do that. So I haven't made it, unfortunately, yet. I do have it all cut out though, ready to go. And yes, I've managed to cut it out correctly this time. So it is all here, all ready to go. I've had it cut out for ages. I just haven't sewn it up yet. So I do really need to get onto that. The thing I was waiting on was actually the interfacing. So the interfacing that came with the G&G kit is actually this really lovely, soft, dark sort of grey interfacing. And I really wanted to use the same stuff because it worked so well in the top. But as you can see here, I only have a small piece. It's not enough. So I was trying to find some more. And I was going to buy it from Guthrie Ghani, but I mean, for the amount I needed and then like postage and everything on top of it, I was a bit like, I didn't really want to spend that amount. So I had a little look, and I did actually find some on eBay. So I managed to get kind of like a metre piece of it for future as well. And yeah, so it was really, really nice. It's so soft, this interfacing. It's really, really lovely. So yeah, I'm going to get cutting out the interfacing pieces, and then I can get sewing. So I'm really excited to make the dress version. So I'm going to have a dress version of it and the top version of it in that gorgeous fabric. So I'm super excited for that. The next item that I made was this lovely little jersey t-shirt. Now this is the Galaxy Tee by Pattern Scissors Cloth. It is a free pattern. You've probably heard me mention it before on my channel. I love it. Sorry if it's a little bit creasy. I always find like with plain jerseys, they never look quite as kind of ironed as the patterned ones. But this jersey came from Poppy Bear Fabrics, and then you've got this additional bit here, which is this lovely mint lace, and this came from Minerva Crafts that I had in my stash. And if you'd seen my plans video, then you'll know that I was actually rummaging through my stash, giving it a little bit of a tidy up, and I noticed how well these two fabrics went together. So I thought I have to make a little t-shirt from it. And I'm so pleased I did. It's absolutely lovely. The only thing with it is that I did mess up a little bit on the gathering of the sleeves. So what I did is I didn't use the instructions because I thought, oh, I've made this a few times. I don't need the instructions anymore. And what I did is I actually gathered between the wrong notches. So on the pattern, you're only meant to gather kind of like the top part of the sleeve head. And what I did is I actually gathered on one side, actually like all of it. Not the whole way around, but just like the two notch points here up rather than just the two up the top. So I did it on one, but then on the other one, I remembered and I did it properly. And it was only when I put it on that I thought, why does one look a little bit puffier than the other? And then I realised what I'd done. Now what I've done is I have actually, let me just take it off the hanger, is I have actually overlocked all of it on the inside. And also because of this fabric, like the lace on there, it's so delicate. I just really don't want to unpick it because I just think I will ruin it if I do. So I've decided to leave it as it is. To be honest, most people can't tell, it's only me. So I think I posted up on Instagram and I kind of mentioned that I'd made a bit of a boo-boo. And yeah, I don't think hardly anyone sort of said, oh yeah, I noticed that. Lots of people was like, I didn't notice it unless you'd said it. So yeah, I mean, overall, it's a really lovely t-shirt. What I did do though, very, very stupid me, is I was wearing it one day and I decided to, oh, I'll paint my nails. You see where I'm going with this. And I'd finished painting my nails. I'd put the lid kind of back on. As I was putting the lid back on, for some reason, I just lost my grip, dropped it. Now, thankfully, only the tiniest bit landed on my top. So I Googled how to get nail polish out of fabric. So I used like nail polish remover, like instantly to try and get rid of it. I also used some of like the Vanish like soap bar and everything like that, you know, the little oxy things to kind of put on it. And you can't actually, well, I'm hoping you probably won't be able to notice it at all, but just because I'm me and I'm going to point it out, it is just there. Can you see? I mean, it's only a tiny, tiny bit, but yeah, I do notice it a little bit. So yeah, I'm kind of a bit annoyed at myself for doing that. I mean, why did I put on this top when I was doing nail polish? Silly, silly me. And then I also finished it off with a little label here, which is powered by tea. So yeah, it's a lovely, lovely t-shirt. It's just a shame that I did create a stain on it, and also I did mess up a little bit with the gathering. So you probably actually see it here. This one is the correct way of gathering, and this one isn't, because I've gathered it for, you know, like more, so it's kind of, the gathers are less like they're more spaced apart, if you know what I mean, whereas this one's a bit more poofy. The only other thing that I have noticed, so I do love this top, but I'm just a little bit disappointed with some of these mistakes and things that I've made. But this isn't a mistake, this is the fabric. The stretch lace, have you ever had it where you get like underwear elastic and it kind of becomes a bit what I call like hairy? So under the arms, so after I washed it, there is this kind of like, you probably won't be able to see any of it, but it's like these kind of like little hairy bits from the elastic, you know, just where like the elastic sort of comes out a little bit. Can you see that there? You might be able to see it against the dark of my cardigan. Can you see there? So that's a little bit annoying. So I'm hoping it's not going to get too much worse. But yeah, so I don't know like how much I'll actually wear this one, because, you know, I don't want the elastic getting even more hairy, but, you know, I still love it. So I will try and wear it as much as I can. But yeah, that was another make. And then the last make that I'm going to show you isn't actually finished. I made it actually quite early on in the month, but it's just been sat on my mannequin because I need to finish it off. And this is the Sew Over It vintage shirt dress, using this lovely cotton poplin that came in a So Hayley Jane box with these gorgeous little boats and everything. It's absolutely adorable, but what I need to do is I still need to give it a really good press and everything. I need to put buttons on it to finish it off and hem it. That's all I need to do. I've done all the placket and everything. I just need to do buttons, buttonholes, and then hem it. I think what it was is I didn't have any buttons in my stash that were suitable, or I didn't have enough of, because I think it does take quite a few buttons. And I just haven't been out and looked for buttons. I've been out to some fabric shops and things, but I always forget to look for buttons. So yeah, I still need to do that. Yeah, so it kind of is a sort of make in August, because I've done the majority of it, but I just haven't finished it. When I have finished it though, I will make sure that I show you guys again, and obviously once I've taken some pictures as well, I will share it, because at the moment, yeah, I can't really share too much of it. I did finish the armholes in bias binding, which this I got from the Specky Seamstress a while back. I had some left over from, I think I made a willow tank, a Grainline Studio willow tank, where I used that bias binding, and I had a little bit left over, and it was just enough to do both of the armholes. So I thought that was really nice. It's got a lovely kind of like round sort of shaped collar. Can you see there? It's kind of like round here and then round there. It's a really lovely shape, and I think it's going to be really lovely when it's finished. I think probably what's maybe stopped me a little bit is because we haven't had really nice weather. We've had like the occasional day where we've had nice weather, but because I'm working full time, I'm in an office, you know, like a very cold air conditioned office most of the time. So I don't really get a chance to kind of wear like really summery things when the weather is nice. It's only really if it's nice in the evenings or at weekends. And typical British weather, it's never nice on a weekend. But yeah, so I will get that finished off so that it's all ready to wear if we do have any nice days, or even for next year. But I just thought I'd show it to you anyway, because I have done the majority of it. It's just the last touches that I need to do. So that was everything that I made for August. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, then give me a thumbs up. And I will speak to you in my next video very, very soon, because now I've got my tripod sorted, I can record. So this one should be going out hopefully on Friday evening, I'm hoping. And then what I will do is I will record another one hopefully on Saturday or Sunday for you, which will be my October plans, I think. Yeah, October plans. So that video will be coming to you very, very soon. And I will also be doing my Friday Pattern Company Joni jumpsuit sew along. I've actually recorded that. It's just that I need to get it all edited, and editing on sew alongs takes forever. So that one will come to you after that one as well. Okay, so take care everybody, and speak to you soon. Bye.